Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to make a video kind of breaking a few things down. Obviously, I as a strength coach, even for my general population lifters, I do put a lot of focus on the big three, and the barbell bench press is usually our primary exercise. But if you guys look at my training, a lot of my clients, a lot of my client blogs, we do a very wide variety of pressing, and I actually believe that doing a variety of different presses and tricep exercises really is essential for overall development and strength. And again, I think people forget that. And even with bench pressing, people will notice I program a pretty wide variety of things. I do a lot of stuff of heavy top sets, in like the 4 to 8 rep range for myself when I'm not running conjugate and doing singles. A lot of my clients run maxes, but then we do a lot of rep work on the bench too. Some of my people do some heavier stuff in the 6 to 8. I myself rotate phases in of where I do 12 plus reps, right? All on pause bench. So we do a lot of benching. A lot of my lifters speed bench, and on speed bench we rotate grips. And I have a lot of my lifters train different grip widths on the bench press. Okay, closed grip, wide grip. Sometimes we work in phases of illegal wide if they need it, where we go all the way outside the rings with lighter weight. Right, we use all these things. A lot of my lifters do incline benching. Right, a few of them decline, not many, but a few of my lifters we work on the decline. Particularly those who are struggling, really struggling with chest development, and it's creating a weak bench press for them. Right, but I do a lot of my lifters do incline, like you guys will see in this particular vlog. Michelle and Doug both doing sets of 10 on their incline. They also both max on the incline. Okay, these things all have their place. They absolutely have their place. Dumbbell exercises. You guys will notice I do dumbbell presses. Actually, both of these lifters do dumbbell presses in different phases, interestingly enough. So if you look at the different people here, so all this stuff was taken from the same training week, just for this vlog, just some random clips from mine and a couple of my clients. And they're both competitive powerlifters. Okay, and I want to be clear here. All three of us compete in powerlifting. So the bench press is a competition lift. But look at the variety of different movements and movement patterns that I have them doing. Okay, Michelle does a lot of speed bench with different grip widths. She goes out really wide. She does closed grip. Right? We do all this different stuff. So we do heavy work on the bench. We do high rep work on the bench. We do speed work on the bench. Okay. When a lot of these lifters have access to bands and chains, we use those. But the incline, both of these lifters do a lot of incline work. Okay, they both max on the incline. Doug inclines 315 plus. By the way, he's in the 181 class. And again, notice they have good physiques. And that's something to think about here too. When we start thinking of all this different hypertrophy work and different rep ranges, different angles and stuff that I use as a coach, I want people to note that my lifters tend to be pretty jacked. They all have relatively good physiques. They all have good physiques. Like, they don't look like what some people envision powerlifters looking like, right? They're lean and jacked. Of course, that's me there. I'm old though. I'm allowed to not look as good. I'm closing in on 50. Kind of my running joke with the dad bod there. But they do a variety of stuff. Dumbbells. All three of us do dumbbells at different points. In fact, I don't think I got everyone doing their dumbbells on this, but all three of us did some dumbbell work this week. I'm doing a little more than they do. I do it on more days. We do dumbbell work. I have had clients where I take them over to all dumbbell work for a phase. And I'm talking powerlifters, with 315 plus benches. One of my guys who was doing that way in 170, we got him up to a 325 bench, 585 deadlift, squatting 500, doing that way in the 170s. I took him in phases where I worked on just dumbbell work outside of his max effort work, and then him doing speed benching with rotating grips against bands. He did all dumbbell work in some phases, right? We would use flat, we would use incline. Doug, who you see here, we've done different points where he's done decline dumbbell, working on those pecs. Okay, again, another example, someone really has a serious pec weakness. Put them on decline dumbbells. Okay? Don't be afraid to use these different tools. Don't be afraid to use these different tools that are available in our toolbox. And here I am doing dumbbell presses. I'm doing like sets of 13, 15, something like that here. High rep dumbbell presses. You'll notice my chest is getting thicker there. These are tools that we utilize. We want to develop everything. If you want to get really strong, you need to be well-rounded in terms of your musculature, right? And I'm not saying we need to think about in terms of aesthetics or balance, but rather just maximizing development. Hey, if you want to be strong, the big muscles involved in any of your lifts, we have to maximize their size. And the bench press is definitely up there. Yeah, I could talk about hamstrings and glutes and quads and all that, but we're talking bench today. We're talking about building a big bench press. Okay? You want a big bench, you better have pecs, delts, and triceps. You better, unless you're just a genetically rare gifted person, an extreme genetic outlier, you need to build these muscles up. So the same thing comes over to two different extensions. We do different tricep work. I'm just doing traditional skull crushers right there. I love skull crushers. They're a mainstay. You'll see Doug doing some laying dumbbell extensions. You'll see Michelle doing J-arm presses. Let her do J-arm presses because she's really good at them. We've seen her doing that in there. Okay? Building the triceps. Thinking about what all three of those tricep heads do. Again, traditionally we tend to think of the lateral head and medial head, particularly the lateral head being really important on the bench, okay, which the J-arm press will continue to build. But it gets built fairly effectively from just high rep benching or close grip benching particularly. But what about the long head? So, you look at the skull crushers, look at the extension Doug's doing. We're building the long head up. Why does that matter? Well, we have data showing that on the flat bench, when we start hitting weights that are 90% of our max or more, the activity on the long head of the tricep goes way, way, way up. I've seen a study on that. So what does that tell you? Because the long head doesn't get very well developed while benching. Like doing our rep work, doesn't get well developed even doing a close grip. It'll really build the lateral head, but that long head, that big horseshoe part you think of up on the top half, right? It seems to be important to the max bench, so doing some extensions to develop it. It's a good idea. The point here is we use a variety of exercises, and we need to because we need to maximize the development of your primary movers on any exercise that you want to be brutally strong at. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.